everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how you can get that cool looking ritual Scythe, armor, and unlock the archetype in the Awakened King DLC and Remnant 2. First, go to the World Stone in Ward 13 and then select Adventure Mode and roll the one-shot Awakened King on any difficulty of your choice, although there are no difficulty rewards other than the challenge if you'd like. This guarantees that the overworld, dungeons, injectables, and quests will be new content if it is your first time. Do note that this will only be available if you have already completed any loathsome storyline, thus unlocking Adventure Mode. From the starting point of the Forlorn Coast, follow the path here. You'll go past Lewise, the loyal scribe, on the way into a sewer dungeon in the Forgotten Commune. If you don't, you may need to re-roll the Awakened King DLC till you do and run back to this location to check before proceeding forward. There are 2 altars you need to complete to get both parts to craft the scythe. First will be the blade and then the hilt. The bosses are befouled altars and resemble mounds of tormented corpse that scream when you start attacking them. These shouts will summon waves of enemies, so be prepared. Make your way till you reach a section that looks like this, then follow the on-screen path. If you found my guides helpful at all, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. From the first altar, just follow the path here to reach the second one. If you're like me, you'll probably assume you need to take them to McCabe in Ward 13, but it's easier than that. Instead, go to your inventory and examine the handle, and you'll get an interact prompt. Do so and select the blade, which will connect both parts together and give you the ritualist scythe. From there, you can return back to Elowin, the lady which has now turned into an aberration, the cursed wretch. Upon defeat, you'll get the guts mutator. Gray health is present. At level 10, increased melee critical damage by 2.5 for every 10% of gray health. I see. Now here's how you can unlock the Ritualist archetype. Continue your adventure until you reach an area with a large canal with a bunch of boats connected to one another in the middle of the city. For me, it appeared in the Forlorn Coast. When you find the boats, start jumping along them till you reach under the docks. Look for an opening in the wall. Follow it and you'll come across a ritual where a witch is sacrificing a pig. Kill them both. Upon doing so, you should also get mutator as a drop, but be sure to collect the ragged poppet further back in the cave on a post. Grab the ragged poppet and head back to Ward 13. Head up to Wallace to upgrade the ragged poppet into the cursed effigy for the ritualist archetype. Alright guys, now for the Ritualist archetype or class itself, the prime perk for this does negative status effects applied by ritualists inflict infected victims receive 5% more damage status effect damage on death and spreads all status to nearby enemies within 5 meters. Now for the different skills that you have, the first one by default is eruption, and this creates 1 meter explosions for 150 damage on all enemies within 15 meters. Explosion radius and damage increase 100% for each unique status effect on target and refreshes all current status effect on target, and the cooldown for this is 27.6 seconds. Then the next one is miasma, which casts an AoE burst that applies bleeding, burning, overloaded, and corroded to all enemies within 15 meters, and dealing a total of 1500 damage base, deals 1500 base damage and lasts for 24 seconds. And this has 41.4 second cooldown. Now the third one is Death Wish, and this negates all healing to self and drains 300% health over 20 seconds and increases all damage by 35% and grants 10% base damage dealt as lifesteal. The cooldown for this is 82.8 seconds. Now, as far as the perks that you get Wrath, which increase all damage to enemies affected by a negative status effect by 6%. Damage increase with Ritualist level as well that's affected by it. And then Terrify is killing an entity applies Terrify to all enemies within 5 meters of killed entity for 20 seconds, and terrified enemies deal 5% less damage, so damage reduction. And then for Dark Blood, you get reduced damage received from negative status effect by 25%. And then the final one, which is Purge, you get on relic use cleanses all negative status effects. Now for the trait that you get for this class is Affliction, and this increases status effect duration against enemies by 40%. I think that this class is great if you like, doing different status effects at all. Now for the armor set, just progress further till you make it to the palace of the one true king. From that area, just follow the on-screen path here. It should be pretty straightforward. For me personally, one of my favorite guns in this game is the Merciless. So I've been running a bleed build. Granted, I think my build could change if I was to play on Nightmare or Apocalypse. I've only been playing the game, or beat it rather, on Veteran. And this is my loadout. I use Energized Neck Coil, which increases status effect by 25%. Applying a damage status effect creates a 5 meter explosion for 20% of status effects full damage. And then I think it was Probability Cord, which increased crit damage by 30%. But I'm not a build expert here by any means. I'm sure somebody out there would probably like, oh, this ring will probably actually be better than Probability Cord. I haven't poured enough time in it to find out, what is the most optimal build. But yes, outside of that ring, I also run the Blood Tinge ring, which gains 2 health regeneration per second second within a 25 meter of a bleeding entity, as well as Xania's Malice, dealing weak spot damage, increased weak spot damage by 10% for 7 seconds and stacks 3 times, as well as the Timekeeper's Jewel, increases the duration of all status effects applied by wearer. Duration vary per status. So I would say out of everything here, I think the two that you would definitely want for a status effect build, or if you're going with bleeding, much like I am, is the energized neck coil is almost a must, as well as the Timekeeper's Jewel, just so you can extend the duration of that, which is really nice, paired up with the Ritualist archetype itself too. Feel free to let me know in the comments section, what are you guys running for your class, and do you have any recommendations of what I could do to make this build better?